Hi Jane, how are you?
I'm great, nice to talk to you.
So, tell me about your journey in this space.
Well, I started out in blockchain. Well, I didn't start out in blockchain in 2010. My son told me to buy Bitcoin and I didn't buy any. And then he came back in 2016 and he said, "Did you buy any Bitcoin?" And I said, "No." And by that time it was maybe $2,000. And he said, "Now I'm telling you this time, Bitcoin is built on blockchain and you need to learn about it because it's going to change everything." So that's how I started to get involved in blockchain. So what happened after that is after I started learning about it and trying to understand it, one day I was thinking about the tsunami in Banda Aceh where 200,000 people lost their lives in 2014. And my company had actually worked up there after the tsunami, so I knew the situation. And it wasn't just that so many people were lost, no one knew who they were, no one knew who the people were that were left behind. The land records were gone, the identities were gone, the health records were gone, everything was gone. And I kind of put together that picture and I had a sudden realization that if all of these different records had been linked to a biometric stored securely on a blockchain, that it wouldn't have changed the tragedy, but it would have made the reconstruction so much better. And so for me, that was a really powerful message about how blockchain could help in humanitarian emergencies. So I really then started applying my mind how it could create social impact.
Do you have any NFTs?
Well, we had a failed NFT collection, which I learned a lot from. No one bought those NFTs, but it was a good experience because we were trying to link a reality TV show with a very, very big audience with NFTs of the contestants in the reality TV show. But we learned a number of things. We learned that mostly people who watch reality TV shows don't own crypto, so they're not going to buy NFTs unless you provide some sort of on-ramp for them. We discovered how expensive gas fees were to mint them, to mint the NFTs, and also because we were trying to work with a community that didn't own crypto, we wanted to have a physical event as well as, you know, the auction on Rarible. But because of COVID, every time we tried to do a physical event, it got cancelled, and so we'd already posted the NFTs on Rarible and we couldn't change the auction date because you can't change the blockchain. So I've never bought an NFT, but I still own some.
What advice would you give to an artist that's making NFT and is not able to sell them yet?
Well, look, I think at the moment NFTs are really hyped up. If you look at the chain analysis report on NFTs, only 28% of people actually make money on NFTs, you know, when they're newly minted and bought on one of these marketplaces. And so there's a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge involved in creating successful NFTs. You need a big crypto community, you need a lot of marketing, and you know, you really need to know what you're doing and engage with a brand or a message or something like that. So it's not for the faint-hearted, even though there's a lot of popularity at the moment.
Okay. You're an advocate for women empowerment in this space. Tell me more about that.
Well, look, I've always noticed from the very first time I went to a blockchain conference that there's always only a few women who are there, and often they're a little bit tentative and lacking in confidence. And then I often meet women who would like to be involved in blockchain, but again, they're a little bit intimidated maybe by some of the types of highly costumed men who are in the space. And I just think it's really important to create a network of women who support each other, more experienced people who know about blockchain sharing with younger women who know about blockchain. About 3 or 4 weeks ago I was in Saudi and I met 2 young female blockchain engineers, and they found me because I knew about blockchain, and I thought they don't have a support structure either. So I think giving women in tech and women in blockchain people that they can come to, communities that they can engage with and discuss is really, really important, because this is a great area for women to be involved in.
Are there any communities you would suggest?
Well, it depends on where you live. We actually started an Arab Women in Tech meetup as a result of what happened in Saudi and talking to some of the other women there, so that exists here. But in many places you'll find women in blockchain meetups. There's a Women on the Block conference. There's Women in Blockchain talks in UK. So there's lots of different things, but people need to go and have a look at what groups are available to them.
Now that you're in the Middle East more, what do you see here? Like, what's attracting you in blockchain in the Middle East than anywhere else in the world?
Well, I mean, I think it's really been unique, particularly in Dubai during the pandemic, because it didn't really shut down very much. And also a lot of inducements were given for people to come here. So they gave that remote working visa so digital nomads could come here. And they're very proactive around technology and attracting technology companies here. But for me, I also see the Middle East is sitting within 5 hours of the biggest, poorest populations in the entire world who could really benefit from blockchain technology, whether it's financial inclusion, supply chains, climate, healthcare. There's so many different applications. So I feel like the Middle East could generate, through all of the investment in technology and attracting companies here, people who are creating projects that don't just benefit GCC countries, but actually benefit all of those broader countries within 5 hours flight of Dubai.
Awesome. Last question is, what are your thoughts on ESG and sustainability?
Well, I think because we're in the Middle East, let's talk about leadership in COP28. Now is the time that people need to be getting involved in driving climate change initiatives, and blockchain is clearly a tool that we've got that will enable us to tokenize carbon credits, improve the effectiveness of the capital flows into climate change activities, and also for green finance, so that we're financing sustainable projects. So I think it's really important now. And the MENA Climate Week's coming up at the end of the month, and there's going to be a side event on blockchain and climate. So I hope you come, I hope everyone comes, and I hope we see some really interesting initiatives spinning off from this event.
That's amazing. Are you going to be in the future blockchain summit?
If you invite me, probably.
Amazing. Thank you for this.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.